Thanks for joining our special coverage of the ceremony marking Korea's Memorial Day. I'm Kim Da-mi in Seoul. In a moment, we'll be crossing over to Seoul National Cemetery, the venue for the event. Every year on June 6th, Memorial Day commemorates all those who sacrificed their lives defending the Republic of Korea. And at 10 a.m. sharp, there'll be a minute-long siren nationwide to pay tribute to the fallen heroes. Veterans of the armed forces will receive awards for their bravery in defense of the country, and President Yoon Suk-yeol will deliver a speech. Before we head to the Seoul National Cemetery to give you a brief history of this day, Memorial Day is especially meaningful for people who remember the modern history of invasion their country has gone through, beginning with Japan's annexation of Korea in 1901. Now, thousands fought for independence during the March 1st movement in 1919. Just as many lost their lives. Freedom, though, didn't come until 1945, which didn't last long. After 5 short years, the Korean War broke out. There are hundreds of thousands of civilians and soldiers died in that conflict. Now, in a moment, we'll be crossing over to Seoul National Cemetery to mark Korea's 68th Memorial Day. Now, we are waiting for the ceremony to begin, but in a moment, we'll be crossing over to Seoul National Cemetery, the venue for the event. Every year on June 6th, Memorial Day commemorates all those who sacrificed their lives defending the Republic of Korea. And in just a moment at 10 a.m. sharp, there'll be a minute-long siren nationwide to pay tribute to the fallen heroes. Veterans of the armed forces there will receive awards for their bravery in defense of the country. And also during the ceremony, President Yoon Suk-yeol is set to deliver a speech. To give you a brief history before we take a listen of the ceremony, Memorial Day is especially meaningful for people who remember the modern history of invasion their country has gone through, beginning with Japan's annexation of Korea in 1901. Thousands fought for independence during the March 1st movement in 1919. There are just as many lost their lives. But freedom didn't come until 1945. After 5 short years, the Korean War broke out. There are hundreds of thousands of civilians and soldiers died in the conflict. That is why we are commemorating this day, the 68th Memorial Day here in South Korea. Every year on June 6th, Memorial Day commemorates all those who sacrificed their lives to defend the Republic of Korea. And before we start as soon as the ceremony kicks off at 10 a.m. sharp, there'll be a minute-long siren nationwide to pay tribute to the fallen heroes. Those heroes, the veterans of the armed forces, will receive awards for their bravery defending their country, the Republic of Korea. During the ceremony today, President Yoon Suk-yeol will again deliver a speech. Now, we are looking at the Seoul National Cemetery, where South Korea is commemorating the 68th Memorial Day. During the event today, veterans of the armed forces will receive awards for their bravery in defense of the country. Now, during the event today, President Yoon Suk-yeol is set to deliver a speech, which we will take a listen to that in a moment. Now, we are still waiting for the 68th Memorial Day to the ceremony to take place to mark Korea's 68th Memorial Day. In a moment, we will take a listen to the ceremony of the 68th edition. Every year, today marks June 6th, which is Memorial Day here in South Korea. This is the day that Korea commemorates all those who sacrificed their lives to defend the Republic of Korea. Now, to give you a brief history of this day, Korea has come a long way to really enjoy the freedom that we have. So the event has just begun. Let's take a listen.
The President and the First Lady are coming into the venue with the Korean War bereaved Kim Sung-hwan, Lee Chun-soo, Jeon Gi-hee, and Ko Young-chan. They are also accompanied by bereaved families of soldiers, police, firefighters who died on duty to protect the homeland, Lee Jun-shin, Lee Kwon-nim, Hwang Sang-cheol, and Park Hyun-suk. At 10 o'clock sharp, we are going to pay silent tribute. We will now begin the 68th Memorial Day commemoration. At ease, we'll now pay allegiance to the flag. Please face the flag in front of you on the left. Those of you who are indisposed, please remain seated. The Pledge of Allegiance will be read out by Ensign Choi Jin-young, who is a descendant of Korean War veteran and serving for the country for 4 generations. Salute to the national flag. I pledge in front of 태극기 allegiance to the Republic of Korea for the eternal glory of the country, liberty, and justice. At ease. Next, we will sing the national anthem. The national anthem will be sung until the 4th verse, led by descendants of national merit and incumbent uniformed workers, Staff Sergeant Kim Na-hye, Police Corporal Yoon Bora, Firefighter Kwon Seung-min, Senior Firefighter Kim Sun-hye, Police Inspector Lee Dong-bin, Deputy Principal Jo Won-hee, Kim Kyung-jun, Jang Se-hee. Next, we will pay tribute with a moment of silence for the fallen heroes and martyrs. The President and the First Lady, together with distinguished guests, will move to the Hyunchungtap Memorial Tower. You are asked to rise from your seats. Those of you who are indisposed, please remain seated as you are showing your respect. The laying of wreath and incense will be accompanied by 8 representatives of the bereaved families of those of national merit, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the President of the Constitutional Court, the head of the National Election Commission, the representatives of political parties, and the Minister of Patriots and Veterans Affairs, the Minister of National Defense, key military officials, and heads of veterans organizations. The heads of veterans organizations are Lee Jong-chan, President of Heritage of Korean Independence, Kim Young-soo, President of Korean War Bereaved Family Association, Kang Gil-ja, President of the Korean War Soldiers and Police Widows, Yoo Il-sang, President of Korea Disabled Veterans, Park Woo-nuk, Chairman of the Korea SV for Japan Cyber Memorial, Kim Jong-gyu, President of the Korea Military Merit Award, Son Hee-won, President of Korea Veterans of Merit, Kim Yong-duk, Chairman of Korea Special Mission People, Hwang Gyu-seung, President of Korean Disabled Veterans Association, Lee Hwa-jong, President of the Korea Vietnam War Veterans, Shin Sang-tae, President of Korean Veterans Association, Oh Kyung-sop, Chairman of the 419 Democratic Revolution Association, Chung Jung-sop, Chairman of the 419 Democratic Revolution Victims, Park Hun, Chairman of the People of Merit of the April 19th Revolution, Hwang Il-bong, Chairman of the May 18th Memorial Injured, Chung Sung-guk, Chairman of the May 18th People of Merit Association.
분양하시겠습니다. 분양을 퇴근하신 후에 제자리로 돌아오시겠습니다. 이어서 여사님 진행하시겠습니다. 함께 참대 드리겠습니다.
We will pay respect to the national martyrs and fallen heroes.
바로
Rest.
순국선열과 호국 영령 나라를
For
위해
the
희생하신 모든
national
분에 대한
patriots
공감을 올리겠습니다.
and martyrs, we will
일동,
pay silent tribute. At ease.
다음은 대통령
The
내외분께서
President and
위패
the
보관관 참배를 위해
First
이동할 수
Lady
있습니다.
will move to the
위패
Memorial
보관관에는
Tablet
아직까지
Enshrinement
유해를
Hall.
찾지
The hall
못했지만
enshrines the
유해를
memorial
찾았지만
tablets of the
시원이
martyrs
확인되지
and
않은
fallen heroes whose
순국선열과
remains have not
호국
yet been
영령의
found
위패가
or have been
놓여져
found
있습니다.
but whose identities have not yet been confirmed.
참대 드리겠습니다. 호국
We
명령
will pay our honors to the unknown soldiers.
대통령 내외분께서
The President and the First Lady are paying their respects to the unknown soldiers and those of merit who have enshrined memorial tablets.
바로 이곳 위패 보관관 6.25 전쟁
This hall enshrines the memorial tablets who were deceased on June 25th, and they are taking a look at the hall. The attendants of the rituals are asked to wait for a moment.
전사자 명부입니다.
This is the list of the deceased who were killed at the Korean War battlefield, and we have made this list, and every morning we pay our respect to this list before we start our day. And as the President mentioned, the country will remember these people forever. We have seen this kind of memorial and enshrinement list to remember the deceased, the unknown soldiers. So you are paying this respect every morning, right? Yes, we open the book on the very day to pay respect to these people who deceased on that particular day and every morning. Thank you very much. These are the memorial tablets. Why don't we take a look at the pictures over there? So these pictures were brought in by the bereaved families, right? Yes. Those of the heroes who have the pictures were brought in here. On the left-hand side, we have more tablets.
참석자 여러분께서는 모두
All the
자리에 앉아 주시기
attendees,
바랍니다.
you are asked to be seated. Now let us invite the first memorial performance, Memorandum of 21-year-old. We will watch a video illustrating the story of late Corporal Lee Hak-soo, who participated in the Korean War and suffered a major head injury and lived with shrapnel stuck in his head for the rest of his life. Afterwards, actor Kang Tae-oh and Corporal Kim Yoon-han, who is serving as assistant instructor in the 37th Infantry Division Recruit Center, will read aloud his memorandum. The 21-year-old Corporal Lee, in 1951, he became a police officer at the age of 20. And Lee Hak-soo, when the war broke out, he inscribed to the Marine Corps. And battle after battle, and never-ending fire shooting sounds. In order to recover more land, the battle became fiercer. After 27 months, in September 1952, Jangdan area in Gyeonggi-do, which is near Panmunjom, there was a fierce battle, a bloody battle, where Corporal Lee Hak-soo arrived. And with a big blasting sound, he was shot
머리에
with
큰
the
부상을 입은
shrapnel,
이학수
and
장병은
he had a big head
실명의
injury.
위기에서 다행히
And
군병원으로
fortunately,
이송될 수
he was
있었습니다.
able to be
하지만 머릿속에 박힌 파편은
moved to
수술이
a
위험한 부위라
military
제거가
hospital,
어려웠고
but a
그렇게
shrapnel in
머릿속에
his
파편이 박힌
brain
채 53년을
could not
살았다.
be removed,
지난
and he
2005년
lived with the
자고하셨습니다.
shrapnel in his head
부상
for
당시
53
이학수
years.
장병은
And
그날의
at
전투에서
the
잃어버린 전우들,
time of his
부상당한
injury,
전우들을 잊지 않기 위해
in order for him not
병상에서
to
그
forget
기억들을
his
글로
comrades
옮기는
who
작업을
passed
시작했습니다.
away at that battlefield,
나의
he
변변치 못한
started writing
고통심마저도
his diary
그대에게
at his
나의
sick
추억이
bed.
남을 것을 기뻐하노라.
And he said that he was happy
여러
that he
전우가
could
몸과
remember the
죽으로
comrades who
줄기차게
oxidized
다시
at the
일선으로
battlefield,
사회로 나갈 세기를 축복하면서
and in hope that these people can start a new social life.
스물하나 비망록
A memorandum of 21
총탄과 포성
years
소리가
of
끊이지 않던
age.
고지에서
at the battlefield where there
서로의
were
이름을
endless
애타게
sounds
외쳐가며
of gunfire.
온
We
힘을 다해
were
싸웠습니다.
yelling and shouting each other's name and doing
하지만
our
정들었던
utmost
전우들을
to fight
그곳에
against the
남겨둔
enemy.
채
But
떠나야만 했고
I had to leave
이제는 만날 수
my
없는
comrades
그들을
there.
떠올릴 때마다
And whenever I remember
그리움과 슬픔,
them, I feel sorrow
분노를
and I
멈출
miss
수가
them,
없습니다.
and I also feel very angry.
전쟁터에서 포탄의 파편을 맞아
At
쓰러졌고
the battlefield,
치료를 위해
when
입원한 병원에서는
I was shelled with a
새로운
cannonball
전우들과
and I was
부족한 병상을
hospitalized.
나눴으며 지냈습니다.
I shared our sick bed that was not
우리는 조금의 불만도 없이 우정을
enough
키워나갔습니다.
for everyone, but
병상이
there we shared
아니었다면
our
알지도
friendship.
못했을 이
And if it
전우들과
were not
함께
for the sick bed,
때로는
I would not have
흙냄새
been
나는
able
고향을
to
그리워하며
know these
눈물을 흘렸고
comrades. And with these the
때로는
friends, we
재미있는
cried
이야기를
because we
나누며
were homesick, and
반드시 다시
sometimes
일어나
we shared
나라를 지키기
fun
위해 싸워야
stories.
한다고
And
다짐했습니다.
amidst all this, we pledged to ourselves that we should stand up again
우리는
to
헤어질
fight
때에도
for our motherland.
건강을 회복하여
And when we
어떤 난관이든
departed,
극복하고
we pledged that
밝은
we
앞날을
should restore
맞이하며
our health
서로를
and
축복해
to
주었습니다.
prepare for a bright future. We blessed each other.
강 위의 조각배가 어디로 갈지는
We don't
뱃사공의
know
손에
where
달려있듯이
the little ship on the
우리나라의
river
앞날은 이
is
땅 위에
heading
살아갈
for.
청년들의 손에 달려 있습니다.
And just like that,
그 어떤
the
시대에든
destiny of this
청년들이
homeland
뚜렷한 목표를
lies in
향해
the hands of our
독수리처럼 씩씩하게
youth.
나아갈 때
And when our youths
나라도 비약적인 발전을 할
are
수
brave
있었습니다.
enough, like eagles in the sky,
우리
that was
청년들은
only when the
불타는
country
애국심으로 당당하게
could
대한민국을
grow
일으킬
and
것입니다.
advance. And with
전쟁이 우리에게
these
가져온
youths,
슬픔은
we
밝고
will
행복한 웃음으로 변할 것입니다.
bring our country to a brighter future. And this
나라를
sorrow
지키는 용사들이여
of battle and war
이
will
땅의
become
평화와 자유가 자리
happiness.
잡고 마침내
And as
태극기를
peace
휘날리며
and
나라를 일으켜
freedom
세울 수 있도록
takes a
함께
good root
나아갑시다.
in this country, we shall move on together to the future.
돌아오지 못한 그날의 전우들을 생각하며
The comrades who could not live
잊을래야
beyond that day,
잊을 수 없는
I could
그들을
never
그리워하며
forget the friends, the comrades, and I miss them,
작별이라는
and I
두
bid
글자를
farewell.
원치 않는 마음으로 이 시를 전합니다.
And I would like to convey this poem to them, although it is not my intention. To those who died
흔들리는 이 나라를
at their
지켜내고자
post, in order to
어두운 밤
protect
촛불 켜
the wavering
길이
country, we light the candle
낙하처럼 그 생명
that will
고이 흘러서
protect the country.
새 터전으로
Your
태어난
life is a noble
조국의
sacrifice
모습.
that will reborn this country,
살아생전 결의의 공양이 되고
and that will become the basis
죽어서는 오늘
for
대안의
the country and the future. And after you passed away,
그대의 이름
you became the national heroes
승리의 용사
of the country, and you
장할소냐
are
그
the pride
정신을 길이 받들고
and the proud heroes of the country.
어둠에서 아픔이 영원되어도
Although your sorrows
향기로운 흙냄새
live on forever,
님 계시는 곳
the scent
금수강산 눈부신 우렁찬 아침
the land,
소리
the
높여
sand, the
전장의
bright new morning,
추억 찬양하리라.
we will praise the new
그러나
future.
우리는
However,
첫 걸음의 재출발이다.
we are standing at a new starting line,
사회의 재건이다.
and the future lies only
정전의
in the
38선
restoration
넘어
of the
통일되는
society
날까지
until the
언제나
land is
지키자.
reunified.
조국을 위하여
We should protect our motherland.
진해 해군병원 병상에서
At Jinhae
상병
Marine
이학
Hospital, Corporal Lee Hak-soo.
오늘의 대한민국은
The Republic of Korea today was made on the sacrifice and devotion of the people of merit.
조국을 지켜낸 선배님들을 이어 대한민국을 지키고 아직
Taking
산에 묻혀 계신
the
호국 용사들의 위를 끝까지 찾아 조국의 품으로
Steps
모시겠습니다.
of our ancestors who protected the country, we are going to do our utmost.
나라와 국민을 위한
For the people and the country, we remember their sacrifice, and we are going to be responsible for our people and for the country forever.
대한민국을 지켜낸 국가의 공자의 희생을
We will
잊지
not
않고
forget
영원히
the
기억하겠습니다.
sacrifice of the people of national merit. Thank you. We remember your sacrifices. When the country was in danger, the heroes willingly went to the battlefield to defend the motherland, fighting back the fear of losing their lives and the sorrow of losing their comrades. They dedicated their youths for their motherland, just like the late Corporal Lee Hak-soo, and they must have longed for a bright future of the Republic of Korea, overcoming the crisis. Through their noble sacrifice and devotion, they gifted us with the free motherland, which we must work together to make it prouder and greater. The President will now confer certificates of national merit to those who have sacrificed and dedicated themselves to protecting the country and our people. 5 people who will receive the certificates are the late Jo Jong-do, the late Son Jun-ho, Mr. Na Young-jin, Mr. Hwang Do-hyun, and Mr. Park Hyun-min, all men of national merit. Please come up to the podium. The Certificate of National Merit, the late Jo Jong-do, the Republic of Korea today was built on the contributions and sacrifices of the persons of national merit, and therefore we present this certificate to permanently honor the spirit of patriotism. June 6, 2023, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is awarded to his son, Jo Young-ho. Certificate of National Merit, the late Son Jun-ho. The content is the same as above. June 6, 2023, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is awarded to his spouse, Chun Yun-ok. The Certificate of National Merit Na Young-jin. The content is the same as above. June 6, 2023, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is awarded to Na Young-jin himself. Certificate of National Merit Hwang Do-hyun. The content is the same. June 6, 2023, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is awarded to Hwang Do-hyun himself. Certificate of National Merit Park Hyun-min. The content is the same. June 6, 2023, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is awarded to Park Hyun-min himself. The people of national merit and bereaved families will salute the Korean people. Salute to the people. At ease, please return to your seats. The President will deliver his memorial address of the 68th Memorial Day. He will move to the rostrum. Honorable fellow Koreans, 2.5 million people of national merit and veterans' families. Today, we are gathered here to remember and pay tribute to those who sacrificed their lives to restore national sovereignty and protect a free Republic of Korea. Here, at the National Cemetery, we have 191,000 people who made noble sacrifices for this country and our people who are resting eternally. I would like to pay my deepest respects to the ancestors and these heroes who made their sacrifices, and I bow my head in prayer for their repose. I would like to also offer deep condolences to the bereaved families who must have gone through difficult times for a long time after losing their loved families. I also would like to express my gratitude to the veterans of the United Nations, including the United States, who shed blood together to protect the freedom of the Republic of Korea from the communist aggression, and to the veterans who were dispatched overseas at the call of their country, who devoted themselves to defending freedom and peace of the world. Prior to coming to this memorial ceremony, I attended the burial ceremony of the late Army Private First Class Kim Bong-hak. Private First Class Kim Bong-hak was killed in the battle at the Bloody Ridge in September 1951. The Battle of the Bloody Ridge is a battle in which the 5th Division of the ROK Army and the 2nd Division of the U.S. Army joined forces to defeat 2 divisions of the North Korean Army. In this battle, the South Korean and American forces suffered casualties equivalent to 1 regiment, while the North Korean Army suffered massive casualties of more than 1 division. It was a great win for our forces. The battle situation of the time was so fierce that the U.S. military reporters of the Stars and Stripes reported it as Bloody Ridge. The remains of the deceased at this battle were excavated in 3 separate places from 2011 to 2016, like a testament to this fierce battle situation. The remains of the deceased could be identified in February of this year and were buried together today with the late Army Private Kim Sung-hak, his younger brother, who died in the battle in the Chuncheon district. It took 73 years for these 2 brothers to meet who fought in the Korean War to protect the freedom of this country, and they were reunited at last. However, the remains of many soldiers who died in the army have not yet returned to their families. The Korean soldiers of 160,000 to defend the Republic of Korea passed away, but the remains of 120,000 are not found. And there were also 370,000 United States soldiers who passed away. The government will do our utmost to ensure that the national heroes will return to the arms of their families. We will continue our efforts to bring back the remains of our ancestors who died fighting for independence overseas as well. Honorable citizens, North Korea is sophisticating and upgrading its nuclear missile capabilities and has legislated the use of nuclear weapons. In April, President Biden and I jointly announced the Washington Declaration, which drastically strengthens the implementation of extended deterrence of U.S. nuclear assets. The ROK-U.S. alliance now has been upgraded to a nuclear-based alliance. The government and our military will protect the lives and safety of the people by establishing an airtight security posture based on the ROK-U.S. alliance, which is stronger than ever. Honorable citizens, the dignity of a nation depends on the people it remembers and how it remembers it. The Republic of Korea stands on the sacrifices and dedication of those who devoted themselves to independence and founding a country that belongs to the people and who defended freedom against communist totalitarianism. They are the national heroes. Only when we do not forget but remember these heroes by teaching them to our future generations, that is only when we can be recognized as a country in the international community. Yesterday, the Patriots and Veterans Affairs Agency was promoted to a ministry. We will look after and honor the heroes of the Republic of Korea better. On March 6th, a firefighter named Song Gong-il, belonging to the Kimje Fire Department, was unfortunately killed at the scene of the fire. He has been a firefighter for only 10 months and was 30 years old, a promising young man who heard an urgent cry that someone was inside the house that was in flames, and he jumped into the fire. We can lead our daily lives safely at this very moment is due to the heroes in uniforms who put the country and people before their own safety, like firefighter Song Gong-il. It is the nation's duty to remember and honor heroes in uniform such as soldiers, police officers, and firefighters who gave their all to protect the nation's safety and its people. The government will make sure that these heroes in uniform and their families do not lose courage and their pride. Honorable citizens, remembering and honoring those who built and defended a free democratic country and those who sacrificed for the safety of the people, the owners of the country properly, is a mandate of our liberal democratic constitution. As president, I have a constitutional duty to safeguard the independence, territorial integrity, and continuity of the nation. We will do our best to fulfill our constitutional obligations. Remembering and honoring the dedication and sacrifice of our heroes means that we are all the owners and sovereigns of our country. Thank you very much. The Republic of Korea we see today was built on the sacrifices of the heroes. We will forever remember the noble sacrifice and their spirits that defended the Republic of Korea. Next, as a second memorial performance, we invite the song Bimok, of which the lyrics were written looking at a rusty helmet and a stone tomb of an unknown soldier during the Korean War. The song depicts the heroes' fears that had to be buried deep in their hearts and their earnest homesickness amid the fierce war that depended on the fate of their country. The song will be sung by the Choir of Generations.
That was our live coverage of the ceremony marking Korea's Memorial Day. If you missed it, you can still catch the highlights in our upcoming newscast at 12 p.m. Korea time. Until then, goodbye.